I was thinking about this though, that evangelism is such a easy thing to not give yourself to. And me and a couple guys at the church are doing this thing where we're challenging each other to share the gospel with at least one person every day for 7 days, or for 1 week until the next day, or the next week. And I was on a run this morning, and I'll be honest with you, this is the first day of the challenge, and you know what, you may hear that and go, that's the most carnal thing I've ever heard, and that's fine. I would agree with that, I guess, maybe. But what I would say is, you may not struggle with sitting on your blessed assurance like I do. And you may not struggle with talking about or planning to do things, but it always being in the future. And then when the rubber meets the road, it's like, oh, that's tough. Okay. And so we're doing this for accountability and that kind of thing. And so I was thinking about this on my run this morning. I was running and I'm like, man, it really is an awkward thing. Because if I'm going to share the gospel with someone random today, it doesn't have to be someone random, but if I'm going to share the gospel with someone today and then also do it tomorrow, at some point I'm going to have to do what I would consider what we call confrontational evangelism, which is where I just spring into the conversation with someone. And this was my thought when I'm running. I'm running, I'm thinking about this, and I go, that's really awkward. And in my mind, as I'm thinking about how awkward that is, I was almost thinking, well, there's my out. It's awkward, so I shouldn't do it. But then I got to thinking and just reflecting on stuff where I've been in 1 Thessalonians and been in Acts with the Apostle Paul. And I thought, this is really what it boils down to. There's never been a culturally acceptable time to preach the gospel to people. And I have to get that. I sometimes think, well, in Paul's day, it was different. But was it? That's what you have. Was it actually different? And what I believe biblically is it wasn't. It was still Paul still caused friction by preaching the gospel. And now this is when you hear that Paul caused friction from preaching the gospel. It's not that Paul caused friction with his attitude. We shouldn't cause friction with our attitude. But Paul caused friction by proclaiming the gospel because the gospel itself can cause friction. Because it's letting a man know that he is not in good standing with God. You think about that. And so I was thinking about that. And this verse came to my mind because I've been in 1 Thessalonians and cross-referencing this with Acts 17. But it says, as his manner was. In other words, it's just a normal thing for Paul. Paul was known to enter a city and to make a beeline to get to a place where